Raymond. This would be the safest place. One of the definitely in this building, but I would be willing to argue that it might even be one of the safest places in the city. What's up, going?
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, bro.
How are you, buddy?
I'm well. How are you?
Andrew's sleepy today.
I am.
He was working hard on all those videos and photos. If you joined us for worship this morning, you saw a lot of what Andrew was up very late last night, so he needs a nap right after this, buddy.
I do have
30 minutes.
I was literally falling asleep on my way up to church tonight.
Well, you should have some
shoot
coffee
this
in your
live
Waffle House
stream.
mug.
And I just have water.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see you guys all here. I think people are slowly, we've added 20 some odd people in the past 2 minutes, so we'll get it there. It's good, get along. All right.
Hey, make sure that you let us know that you're here in the chat.
Yeah, if you are joining us, let everybody know, because there's only a few that we see here right now. So if you are not someone that normally joins us in the chat, just say hi real quick. You don't even have to say anything else after that. Just say hello.
Eli,
everyone.
I beat you into the chat today, and Courtney. I was the first one. Normally
Eli was a little upset about that.
He can get over
Eli's usually the first one in there.
Get on earlier, Eli.
All right. I'm not going to lie. I usually check through the chat just to make sure both of my kids are in there, and we're all set. So both of my kids logged in. So at least we're covered there. And Keegan's always there. Keegan, tell your sister congratulations. She's graduated officially now, and we're proud of her. So let her know that. Molly and the Myers are all here. Carter Downing. Carter, did you give your dad a big high five for graduating? Dustin graduated today,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
He was working on one of his degrees.
He's got his BSN now.
Yes.
It's Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
Yes.
For those of you who didn't know what a BSN was.
I did not, but
it's a big deal. You and my wife are part of the same club now.
He can now nurse bachelors. It's not like that. All right, well, hopefully, Carter, make sure you tell your dad congratulations to us. It is a big deal, and it's not nursing bachelors.
No, it's not nursing bachelors at all.
And it's a good thing, and he's like busting. He's on the front lines, man. That guy, him and his mom. Downing parents. That's awesome. So,
yeah.
Hey, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started with some stuff today. We actually have an announcement.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to put that slide in. I'm
Andrew,
slacking.
It's okay, Andrew. It's
I'm
okay.
slacking like Rob was slacking the other day.
I didn't even know we were live on Wednesday when we were live. I was still just talking and realized what was happening there. So,
but look, I just got it in.
Look at that. So, hey, everybody, we do, can you put that on their screen, like, for them, so that they can see it closer? Is that what they're looking at right now?
They're looking at this right now.
All right. Hey, so if you notice, what we're doing is family trivia game night, guys. So it is Friday, May 29th. So that's coming up here in a couple weeks, May 29th at 7 p.m. And your whole family can compete in this. So get mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, nanny, meemaw,
also
pappy,
know, though,
peepaw.
Also know that it's not just for families. It's for anybody that wants to play.
So anybody can play with us, and we're going to send out how this is going to work, but we're going to use Kahoot, and we're going to use Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah, Zoom and Kahoot. That's what you need. You need those two things.
And we'll be hosting this thing, and it's going to have lots of prizes, lots of fun, and it's going to last, we'll be done by 8 o'clock, 7 to 8 o'clock, 1 hour.
You may or may not get to see us humiliate this guy. I don't know.
It's probably going to happen.
We'll see.
I feel like the system might be slightly rigged the way there's been whispers between staff members up here, but it's going to be a fun night, guys, and it's going to be interactive between our whole church. So there's going to be hundreds of people on here. So
Flip said Laura got her BSN too.
Yeah.
Way to go, Laura Porter.
Nursing those bachelors.
Yeah. Sorry, she's nursing the. Flip, are you going to keep her from nursing those bachelors?
That's how we met her.
Said, make sure that ring's on.
Confusing so many kids right now.
I know. Back to trivia
Back
night.
to trivia night. So guys, get ready. I want everybody to join us. I don't care if it's 3 mid-schoolers going against everybody's families. I don't care what that looks like, but you're going to be able to compete in your homes, and we're going to do like big prizes. We're teaming up with the children's ministry, and when the children and student team, we get together, we just make a family ministry. And so we're going to be gift cards, prizes, lots of fun stuff, and it's going to be
a good time.
Good stuff.
Yep.
And so it'll be a blast. So make sure you join us for that, all right?
Good.
So that's our only announcement. We had an announcement. It's been a long time. And with 2 announcements.
What's the other announcement?
Drive-in church.
Oh, yeah, drive-in church.
Drive-in church on the
May
3rd. Look at this.
31st.
So Friday, the 29th, we'll do an all-church trivia. And then Sunday, the 31st. It's going to be a weekend of
You're going to have so much
amazing things
interaction
going
with
on.
human beings. You're not going to know what to do with
I know.
yourself.
And so what we're going to do is on Sunday the 31st, bring your cars up here with everybody in your family, and we're going to do a big church service out in the parking lot. You'll stay in your car, turn on the radio, but you'll be able to see people and see people in their cars. So
We'll wave at you.
you just can't get out. I'll be out there waving as people come in.
Yeah.
I won't give high fives. I'm not going to touch, but we'll wave. All right, we'll see you, and it's going to be a great night. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to slowly start making our way into some sort of hopefully normal type of church here in the next couple of months. So we will see. But we still have
Sorry,
Corona
I'm
to deal with.
responding to the chat room here.
COVID-19.
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 Yep.
So with COVID-19, I don't even know what I was talking
you
about.
want to do this
distracted
too?
me.
Now or
What's
after
that?
the game?
After.
Okay.
After the game. So we started a game last Wednesday.
Called
we were
What's
doing
Behind the Mask?
What's Behind the Mask
Volume
2.
2.
But for time reasons, we only did half of the game. And so just like we normally would do at church, if we only did half of a game on a Wednesday night, we'll do the other half on a Sunday. So we decided to save some of it, and we are going to do What's Behind the Mask Part 2.
Part 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2. So we do have Chick-fil-A gift card for the winner, and whoever wins, I will send you the text message with the picture of the gift card so you can use it today. Order everything online. I just saw Charlotte's birthday will be this Sunday as well. This Sunday will be Charlotte Bullock's birthday, so we'll celebrate Char's birthday, everybody, as well. So here we go.
Charlotte, I'll try and find you a special cat happy birthday video just for you.
Oh, we have one. It's the other.
Oh, yeah,
it's
the other
one.
crazy one.
We've already made it. So hey, here we go. We're gonna do a little thing. Remember, we're gonna read.
supposed to leak that.
We're
kind of
gonna read off the. We'll read the answers.
Yeah, I'll flip it over to the
questions.
screen so you can read it. Remember, don't answer until Rob types the word go.
Until I say go.
Till Rob types the word that says go? Okay, here we go. First question. Here we go. What does Ed Sheeran have behind this mask? Is it A, lipstick, B, a clown nose, or C, a lollipop? Lipstick, clown nose, lollipop. I'll let you...
Ooh, if you look closely, you can see.
Oh yeah, they didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
Well, you just gave the answer away there.
Sorry.
Are you going to type go or not?
I'm waiting because everybody's just now seeing some of it.
Well, it's totally fine.
Are you ready? Set. Go. No, I hear about how wrong we are every time, every Sunday and Wednesday from all the women in my family.
Logan McClanahan is correct.
Logan
It
says
is a
clown nose.
Clown nose.
Logan is on the board. And
Logan's
Logan
on the
McClanahan.
board.
Way to go, Logan. Way to represent.
All right, number 2.
Almost freshman.
What is the emotion behind the mask of this emoji? Is it A, sad emoji, B, indifferent emoji, or C, happy emoji? You think that the eyes tell all, but not on emojis.
The eyes are the same on this emoji.
On this emoji, sad, indifferent, or happy emoji? All right, let's see.
Make sure you type in
Meadow, just make sure that you're typing out the actual answer, not the letter, but the actual answer.
And go.
I'm not seeing that you typed go. There it is.
Yeah, the chat is really off right now.
Indifferent, happy. Kendall Myers.
Kendall says happy.
Kendall Myers, you're
You
the first
got
one on
it.
our
You
chat
got
that says
it.
happy.
Way to go, Kendall.
All right. Third question. What is the color of the macaroon that is about to be unmasked? If you're unfamiliar with what a macaroon is, it's a cookie.
They're disgusting.
They're not disgusting.
They're gross.
I don't know. Do
Coming
you like
from the-
macaroons? Never had one? Do you like macaroons? All right. All right,
I like them
macaroons.
if they have chocolate chips in them
Whatever.
and they don't
All right.
look green.
Is it pink, yellow, or blue? Pink, yellow, or blue?
Pink, yellow, or blue? And go.
Pink, yellow, or blue?
Caleb Jackson says pink.
Caleb Jackson is correct. It
Caleb
is
on the
pink.
board.
It
Caleb
is
just
pink.
came out of nowhere. He wasn't even in the chat room.
I know.
He just ran to his computer.
Yeah.
Boom, pink.
He was
He's got that Bing energy.
Bing. It's bang.
Bang. Bang, bing.
You're never gonna live it down,
Boom,
man.
bowl.
You do one video, Caleb, and you're never gonna live it down.
I know hey, I know, guys. The chat thing is really off right now.
Here we go. Next question. What are you going to see on the mug of this pug? Is it a tongue out, a smile, or a snarl?
A
What do you
tongue
think?
out,
Tongue
a
out,
smile,
smile,
or a snarl. Check out the face carefully.
Yeah.
And go. It's not even, see, that's my problem.
I don't know. Snarl, snarl. We got two snarls.
Got two snarls, not yet.
Ooh,
Snarl,
snarl,
no.
smile, snarl. Smile wasn't an answer.
Tongue
was it?
out.
Wait, Alex Hunt.
Alex Hunt!
Alex Hunt. Tongue out.
Way to go, Alex. And Alex, thank you for sharing that video with us last week,
No
all right?
joke, man.
And for that, I'm going to give you an extra point.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to start a meeting
Alex is
here.
up 2 now because he shared a video, and I know that wasn't easy to do. So Alex has 2 points. Logan McLean has 1 point. Myers has 1
What
point.
are we living in the Wild West here?
Yeah, we are.
I don't even know why we're looking at the camera because all they're seeing is this page.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Here
Last
we go.
question. Last question. What are you going to see on the mug of this llama? Is it A, a pucker, B, teeth, C, a smile, pucker, teeth, or smile? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Are you going to say go?
They haven't even seen it yet.
Oh, or is it super delayed?
Yeah, it's like we're way behind here. So I'm waiting for
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry we're so far behind.
All right, what are you going to see on the mug of this llama? Pucker, teeth, or smile? And go.
Smile. Oh, Molly. Molly, you got it.
Molly got the smile. No, teeth.
Molly said teeth.
Molly
and it
said
is
teeth.
I don't know what's going on. Why
Wait,
the
so is
video?
it-
I don't know why the video is so far back. It's usually only a couple of seconds, but
Was that our last one?
yeah, that's our last one.
Oh, so we have a 1-1-1-1-1,
Yep.
and then Alex Hunt.
So I'm gonna put Rob's address in the chat line. Feel free to go. Don't TP because that's really valuable right now. But maybe you can like fork his yard or something.
Don't. You
Yeah.
can leave coffee.
Just get a big bag of salt and dump it all over his grass.
I just put sod in. Don't do that. I had to redo a lot. I've been working hard on my yard.
Don't do that. That's like that's actually a felony.
It's very bad.
That's
Hey, we didn't have a winner, did we?
well you.
Well, all I'm saying is the tiebreaker should go to anybody that gave a testimony last Wednesday.
If that's your reasoning.
And Colin Johnson's not on here, Marin's not on here, and Ethan isn't on
True.
here. So
That is
Alex
very
is
true.
on here.
It's I can't make that judgment call. You're the boss.
So I'm giving it to Alex. Good job, buddy. And just remember, if I ask you to come up and get ready to share testimony, you might want to just say yes, because you never know. Something in it, something might be in it for
Until Rob
you.
changes his mind and doesn't give you points.
Or I can change it however I want to.
Because he's the boss. He's in charge.
So Alex, you are the winner. I'm gonna send. I'll send one of your parents the gift card here over the phone shortly, and you guys can order something on Chick-fil-A online. Use the app. Have you been to Chick-fil-A lately? Like the drive-through?
Well, I just know that they have like lots of people taking orders like really far out.
They had Hannah was out there.
I have not been out
with
there.
like lighting things, like when they're guiding in airplanes, and they're like, one of our former students was out there, and she's like pointing it in, and they're pointing direction in, and then they have another person back there.
I'm okay as long as the business is doing well, the Jackleys are being taken care of.
Chick-fil-A's got it down, man. They are nailing this COVID
I will tell
stuff.
you, where did I go that was terrible? Oh, Chipotle. It's like the Wild West,
There's
man.
just people roaming the parking lot out of
Just
Chipotle.
like, they've got like the tables blocking the doors, and they just come out and like, John? So like, I literally could just like walk up, oh yeah, that's mine, and just take it and walk off.
If you do that this week, send us a picture. I'll give you a gift card to Chipotle.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, I will say though, Chick-fil-A is definitely doing a better job.
Chick-fil-A's
than
got
Chipotle.
it down, man.
Definitely.
So hey, we've been trying to do a little surprises from different students. So we had a little video from Alex and Colin last week, and then Ethan and Marin, who are up here doing some painting for me, and they happened to talk about what they were like reading in their life. So I was like, you're talking about that tonight. So we have a very special person here with us.
For the second time,
For
we have
the
a
second time,
special guest.
ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't be Sunday morning. You better hustle here, buddy.
Wouldn't be a Sunday
Without-
without this guy.
Puns with Will.
How's it going, Will? How's it going?
I'm good.
How you doing,
Good.
man?
Good.
You handling this corona all right?
No,
No?
no,
You,
no, I'm fine.
you're good?
Yeah,
You don't have it, do you?
no.
No.
Okay, that you know of?
This
Yeah.
guy's getting on an airplane next week, though, and flying down to Texas.
I'm
You
scared.
could see the fear in his eye right there. Like, he hadn't thought about it. He's like,
He's getting
"Nope."
inside of a death tube.
It'll be okay, Will.
Stop calling
Don't
it that.
listen to your uncle. Don't listen to your uncle.
Keeps calling it a test tube.
It's not a death
I'm just
tube,
kidding.
all right?
I know.
I'm kidding.
All right, you're safe. Will, you got a joke for us, buddy?
I wish I could get a job cleaning mirrors. It's just something I could see myself doing.
Oh!
That's a good one. I can hear Charlotte
All
laughing
right,
right
everybody,
now. from the
everybody
crowd.
in the chat room, you can give your claps.
That is good. Give a shout out to my
Yeah.
man, Will.
Whose jokes are better, Will's or Pastor Randall's?
Oh, man.
Leave a comment in the chat. Leave a comment in the chat. Whose jokes are better, Will's or Pastor Randall's? We'll let them know. We got staff
Charlotte,
meeting.
before you even said that, said I think Randall should stop telling jokes and we should have them do puns with Will instead. I'm telling you, that's our gold mine when mid-school. I don't know what we're going to do, Will.
I don't know
You're
what
being
we're
off to
gonna do
high school
either.
here pretty soon. Like, that was always a good segue into
We're
anything
gonna
I
have to
taught.
find somebody else that can do puns. It's
I
in
know.
like 6th grade, so we got 3 solid
So
years.
I need someone. High school, you're getting a real gym, all right, of a freshman class coming up. I'm just going to tell you. They're awesome. And we're going to need a mid-schooler to step up with some puns with us because when Charlotte's the only one that laughs out in the crowd, it makes my heart smile. So we'll need somebody to step up. Hey, normally I try to talk to you before we do the stuff, but I'm just gonna throw some stuff at you here, Andrew. We are finishing up our series called In My Opinion. In my opinion, the past few weeks we've been talking about how gossip can be something that can hurt us when we just share whatever's on our mind about stuff and we just start spreading gossip. We also talked about how sometimes our opinions matter though. Like maybe I see something that, like if Andrew was just off doing stupid stuff all the time and just ruining his life, maybe I could like speak into his life and be like, hey, for whatever it's worth, and maybe I could just share with him and to help guide him back to maybe some good stuff. And so so we've kind of seen both things. And today we're just going to talk about like how our opinions can kind of form maybe the wrong thoughts about people. Now, in schools, you guys have cliques, and I hate to hate to lay in on the secret here, but that stuff kind of goes through with adults as well. Andrew, can you think of any time maybe a clique that you've been a part of has bullied someone else because maybe that person doesn't care about the same sport as maybe you and a few of your friends?
Well, I was kind of thinking about how many times we've bullied people about not being in Waffle House buddies.
That's true, but I'm more focused on how I've been bullied lately. See, students, it doesn't just stop when you're a kid. Sometimes maybe you don't love baseball, but you really love some other friends that they love baseball, and they just, they make fun of you and they put you down and they say mean things to you.
I can go back and read some of the chat. I think you're the aggressive one.
I was going to when you and Rob Cheney said, "Hey fellas, is it time we go back to our own text and leave Rob out of it?"
Because you were being mean in our text.
I was just suggesting new rules that baseball should have. That's
Yeah.
all. I was sharing my thoughts, which is one of our points in today's lesson, that just because people have different opinions doesn't mean you have to leave them out on that. So I will be accepting my apology from Cheney and Austin and you any day now, all right? Luckily, I have Jay Cram, and he sticks up for me. Now, to be fair, sometimes I do have very strong opinions on baseball, and I voice those opinions at them, and maybe that's why. So for that, I apologize. So today we're talking about opinions, and now sometimes you can form opinions that may be about things or other people, but it's really not based off of anything. And so you guys can probably relate to that at all. Has there ever been someone in your life, like, you had a really strong opinion about them and you ended up being completely wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Was it anybody you ended up being friends with?
Like really good friends with?
What about your nephew?
Oh, I mean, like...
Any opinions about?
I mean, like, Matt Evans, Matt Evans was my best friend growing up, and we were two very different people. I was the kid that wore, like, matching sweatpants and pocket t-shirts, and he, like, had hair gel and Tommy Hilfiger and Bugle Boy, like, khakis on. He was, like, the preppy kid at school, and I was, like,
Your mom just bought the Hanes pack,
Yeah,
didn't she?
she would
Like
be
the
like-
t-shirt that
She
came
would
with
be
the
like
sweatpants.
red pocket tee, red sweatpants, blue pocket tee, blue sweatpants.
I love it.
Yeah, that was
so hilarious.
Yeah, sweatpants and Payless tennis shoes, buddy.
So good. Man, I can still remember in 6th grade, there was a couple new kids that moved to our school. Actually, they were in our neighborhood. And they were like super huge, like just way taller. I mean, they were taller than our teachers. They were taller. In 6th grade, I had two of the only guy teachers in the school, and they were already taller than these guys. And so when they moved from a different district to different schools, and they were, just because they were so tall and they looked so much older, I just assumed, me and a couple of my buddies were like, those guys are probably 16 and they're in the 6th grade. And so our thoughts were like, they must be idiots, or they had to have flunked like 5 or 6 times. And when they would like try to talk to us, they ended up like, I found out they were in our neighborhood, and they would bike by and they'd say hi, and me and my friends would just be like, yeah, whatever. And like, we would purposely kind of like steer away from them for a while and completely form these opinions. And even like, going back to week 1, even like would tell people, like, yeah, I heard they flunked like a few grades and they had to move to a new school district because their old school wouldn't let them be there anymore because they're too old for, to be in these grades. And so they had to move. And so we had all these opinions of them, and it was just wrong. It was just like a terrible way of doing things. And so just talking about opinions, that we all have these opinions. And sometimes it can be funny, and like what we were joking about before. Like, I have opinions about baseball. I make it a lot worse just to like be funny about it. But I'll share, like I'll mess with, if you don't know, a few of our leaders, Austin Graham, Rob Cheney, Andrew, they love baseball. And I'm like, it's all right. And I like to mess with them about stuff. And I'll share those opinions in a joking manner. But sometimes when we share them and we're like dead set on stuff and we're even just mean about our opinions, like if you've ever worn anything that you thought was really cool and someone just ripped on it and it like made you feel like dirt.
Welcome to my middle school life.
Yeah, man. I always think of Carson Huff on this because Carson was so big on like, you can't mix match stuff. And there used to be tennis shoes. Do you remember BK?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's called British Knights. They were super cool at my school.
Not at my.
In my school, you don't know BKs, so you don't know why this is funny, but they're super cool. So I got a pair of BKs, but then I had a Nike Jordan shirt. And man, this girl went off on me, and I thought it was really cool. And I was super proud of this combo that I was wearing because it was red and black. And they're like, what are you wearing BK shoes and a Nike shirt from? And man, they just let in on me. And I never wore, I wouldn't wear that shirt again with those shoes. I had to wear the BKs though. That was fly. and so here's the deal, we share these opinions that can even hurt people because it's that wrong opinion. I want to do this in the chat room. You got to help me out. Carson, no.
Carson said she thought you were going to talk about the vest.
You know what, Carson? Me and Jack will wear our vests proudly. And Andrew wears them. No one's ever said anything about you wearing them.
That's because everybody knows that I don't care what people think about
That's
how
it.
I dress.
I'm starting over with COVID. I'm the new me. I'm just going to, whatever Andrew wears, I'm wearing. That way no one can make fun of me because then they'll have to make fun of you
and
too.
You're going to wear a lot of baseball apparel.
Rolling up my pants and wearing sandals. See, you lift those up. Can you keep your leg up? Get it up here, buddy.
Boom.
Look, that's what I say. Now no one can make fun of me for what I wear. So there. All right, here we go. So I want you in the chat room, help me out here, about opinions that you may have sometimes. And keep them polite. Don't use people's names or anything. But let's say there's that kid that drives the really nice car, the really, really nice car. And so maybe your opinions are oh, I want you to fill in the blank in the chat room here, but be appropriate and semi-polite. But what goes through your head? What do you kind of think sometimes about your opinion when you think, oh, well, the rich kids at my school, they are, what's typically your opinion about that? Hit in the chat room right now. I don't know how long we have to wait.
Well, I don't know. I
guess just keep going.
I would just keep going, and then we can comment.
So, rich kids in my school are. I want you to think about what that opinion would be, and finish that sentence in the chat room. Or the smart kids are. What's your opinion? There's always that smart kid, and we're just jealous because they're
very good people,
smarter than we are. Rich kids are. Smart kids are. Logan says, I don't care about them.
Whoa.
At all. Never had to work for anything ever. They have better stuff than I do. Ungrateful for what they have. Bogus. Dang, Keegan.
It's your boy.
It's your boy Keegan. You know what I think about
You're bogus.
You're bogus. Let's try this. The band kids, oh man, they are so
awesome. They were the funniest, most outgoing, talented. They're my favorite people. And that mic is picking up all of that.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to hear where we're at here. So let's do band kids. The band kids are what?
Fantastic people.
Fantastic people, yeah. So as you guys are doing that, all the smart kids at my school are crazy. Will says the band kids are the best.
Honestly, Meadow, doesn't everybody have a little bit of crazy to them?
So we all we form these opinions and these different thoughts, and we can do the same thing. You could do the same thing. I mean, if we're asking other people, hey, what do you think about people that go to church? They have their opinion. And then you can ask people at church, hey, what do you think about all these people that never go to church? And we have these different opinions. And we allow these opinions sometimes to push us or maybe guide us in the wrong direction. And so these things can be built off of past experiences. If you were picked on somebody on a sports team, then you're oh, well, everybody on the sports team is, they're this. Or I'll turn it around though, because the only time I was made fun of was by some of the really smart kids and some of the band kids, because they're Rob, you're too dumb to play an instrument. And I was no, I played the cornet. It's a small trumpet.
Rob's I played 2 songs and I was done.
And I was done because they said, if you want to keep playing, you have to skip recess. And I was forget that, because you could do 5th grade in band when we were kids. And so, But you're going to have these different opinions, these different times. So maybe past experiences drive some of those things. Maybe it's just assumptions because you don't play in band, or I'm sure people that have money are very nice people just because they have something a little bit nicer than you. And everybody in this entire community has a ton more than people in a community maybe 6 miles south from us. So everybody's got something. So they could have assumptions about you. You could have assumptions about people in certain neighborhoods. And we all have these different opinions about different people. Or it might be different opinions about people from different political sides or from different countries or whatever that is. We have these opinions about stuff that maybe, can play into that. And sometimes that just turns into judgment. When our opinions turn into judgment on people, that's when it can really be hurtful. And so one of the things we're kind of looking at here today, just real quick, and it's probably a pretty familiar story for a lot of you guys. We've talked about it before, is in the book of John, who was written by a disciple named John, and he was writing about Jesus' life. And one of the things he records here is this encounter Jesus had with a group of religious leaders who caught a woman in adultery. And we've shared this story before, and in John chapter 8 is where we're going to look today and where your story is going to start at. In John chapter 8, they found Jesus and they said, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say?" And so what we know is this woman was having a very intimate act with another married man that she was not married to. And so they said, according to our laws, this woman should be put to death. And so they throw her in front of Jesus because they're trying to find out, here's this guy saying how much God loves them and God forgives. But according to our law, she should die. So is he going to go against our law, or what's he going to do? And so Jesus knows they're trying to kind of trap him. And a lot of people even think there was a whole trap anyway, that they were just using this woman as a trap because they didn't actually bring the guy there, and he's supposed to be part of the trial as well. But Jesus kind of goes around all that. And they were taking these opinions, these judgments, and these, casting all this on this woman, and threw her in front of Jesus and said, let's see what he does. And Jesus does something that I thought was really cool. He could have had an opinion about her. He could have said, you know what, this woman was caught in sin. And he could have said a bunch of stuff about her. He could have done anything here. But instead, Jesus does something different. Instead of casting that judgment, Jesus said, hey, I want you to look at your own self first. Before we form this opinion, why don't you look at your own self? And so it says the leaders kept demanding an answer. So he stood up again and he said, let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone. Because how they were going to kill her was throw rocks at her death. It was called stoning a person. And so he said, the one who has never sinned before, throw the first stone. And then he stooped down again and he wrote something in the dust. And eventually, one by one, the men drop their rocks and they all walk away. And he says, where are your accusers? Didn't even one condemn you? The woman responds, no, Lord. And he says, neither do I. Go and sin no more. So Jesus wasn't saying, hey, it's no big deal that you sinned. He wasn't saying it's okay what you were doing. What he was doing is saying, hey, I'm not going to jump to some opinion about your whole life here. These men don't know your story. They don't know what you were put into. They don't know the circumstance or what took place here. And maybe it was even wrong what was happening. But this judgment, this isn't going to take place the way they thought it was going to. And Jesus was more worried about their heart rather than casting a judgment upon them in this situation. And so I thought it was a really cool thing because when we start forming opinions about people, it's one of those good things to look and reflect, all right, why am I thinking about this, about that person, or about a group of people in general? Going back to the rich people. Some of you guys were like, well, my opinion is they don't have to work for anything. You don't know what they had to do. I knew a family that he did really well. Their dad made a lot of money. He was this really brilliant guy that did mutual funds and stuff. His kids had nice stuff. But I also know that from the outside looking in, you could look at that and be like, those kids don't have to work for anything. I know that those kids busted their tail. They started doing jobs when they were early. They were the only kids. They lived in a super nice neighborhood. They were the only kids in the entire block that did their own lawn, weeded, pulled weeds, mowed. They did all this stuff. They took care of things. They got jobs at early ages. And so from the outside, they could look and be like, oh, these kids, they don't know how good they have it. They don't know this. But I know, because I knew the family, that those kids worked hard. And they had more chores than most kids that I've ever been around. So we can view these opinions and kind of form nasty thoughts, but unless you really look at your heart and go, okay, why am I feeling that way? I'm probably feeling that way because I'm jealous because I want what they have. Or maybe you had an experience, or you look at, band kids. Band kids sometimes, they can, I don't know if it ever happened at your school, but sometimes maybe, well, not at Blue Springs, because Blue Springs band is ridiculous. But sometimes you're like, oh, the band kids, they're this and this.
Both bands are ridiculous.
And so, but a lot of times it's just because other people don't know how to play instruments. So they judge, and they're like, oh, well, this, and this. And we think things, and we make up stuff, and whatever that is, we form these opinions. But if we can learn from what Jesus did, he says, hey, why don't you look at your own life and then see if you still have that same opinion. And so when we really look at that, some of those opinions we form, it's really just because we're just, making stuff up. Or maybe it has to do with our own heart. And so as you guys go to your groups here pretty soon, I want you to think about that. Going back to those 2 kids that moved in on my street that I started out talking about earlier. I ended up talking to one because they started riding our bus. And I started talking with a couple of them. I didn't want to, but they ended up sitting next to me. And I found out these guys, they're just really tall. They were the same age as me. And they were super nice. And one of them, they're these twin brothers. They ended up being with some of my closest friends at high school. One of the twin brothers ended up being my very best friend. He was this awesome guy. And because I had this false assumption just because I was smaller than him and he was this huge good dude, and I was like, oh, they must be dumb. They must have flunked. I heard this and this. And instead, I actually got to know him, and I was completely wrong. And I felt like a total jerk about even telling people or having this opinion that they flunked out or they got in trouble, and that's why they were at our school. And so we can form these false opinions. And so what we can do to battle against that is, one, either just worry about yourself. Don't form those nasty opinions and thoughts. 2, look at your own heart and figure out hey, why am I feeling this way? What am I doing to think about this? Why do I have this sort of opinion about these people? And then try to know what other people's story is. You don't know what other people have been through. You don't know their story. You don't know what they've experienced or what they've gone through before you just cast those opinions and judgments on people. And so we want to hold off on those opinions when it can come into a hurtful situation. And so think about that. As you guys go to your groups here in a few minutes, right now actually, I want you guys to kind of talk about that. What assumptions have you had or opinions have you had about people that you ended up being completely wrong about? I know there's a few students in our student ministry that are super good friends now. And at the beginning, they thought complete different thoughts about people. And so kind of talk about that in your small group and talk about a time maybe you formed an opinion about somebody that you were way off on, or why we form these opinions about people or cliques or other people in our schools, and kind of chat about that, because I think this is something that really applies to our schools constantly. It goes in even our own church when we see people come in and out of our church and go, oh, I wonder what they're doing here. So kind of think about that, guys. Get into your groups, and hopefully you all have a great day, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday. So leaders, if you want to throw that in, I know 8th grade, you guys are joining 7th grade with the witty. Brian Witty. Matt Blaine could not make it, so 8th grade, you guys are joining 7th grade today with Brian. All right? So leaders, if you want to throw out your stuff in the chat, let everybody know where you're at, and they will join, and we'll see you guys all later on.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
See y'all later.
We're kind of delayed, so.
We're really delayed, so we're making sure everybody's in the chat room.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought about this series, in my opinion. What's your opinion of this series, in my opinion?
They're all going through now.
Charlotte and Judith and Misty's group are all in. Keegan, we haven't seen it yet.
Brian Whitty, can you pop in your
there
the code
is.
there?
Whoop, hold on. Let it through.
There it goes. 7th and 8th grade guys.
Bye, Bree.
6th grade, so there's all the mid-school guys.
Kristen Myers.
No one had a birthday this week, right?
Hey, Kristen, I forgot to tell you thank you for your surprise drop-off on the front porch the other day. The girls were super pumped about it.
What'd you get?
She got a bunch of clothes from the Myers. And Harper got a toy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how's it going?
It's going well.
I'm just
going
making
really
sure
well.
everybody gets in there.
I'm having some massive withdrawals from baseball, that's for sure. You wouldn't care about that, though.
No. I've been watching.
I have watched some Korean baseball,
Have you
though.
watched any UFC on ESPN?
No, I haven't.
Korean baseball.
Yeah, the Korean Baseball League is playing, so they're broadcasting games.
I just stick to North Korean baseball. It's pretty good. It's
So
pretty good.
I was gonna do some like really inappropriate humor. Horse. What's horse?
Hmm?
My wife. My wife just. I've had lots of people comment. All my stickers are gone. I took them all off of my laptop. For those of you that wanted to know.
I think we got everybody right.
Get everybody? All right. Are we done? We good?
I think so.
You feel comfortable?